Hi everybody. So today I'm going to be doing a review of the MIOPS mobile remote smart camera trigger, which was provided to me by MIOPS. So effectively the MIOPS device is a smart camera trigger, and what that camera trigger does is it connects to your digital camera and links with MIOPS's application. So the MIOPS app allows you to offload a lot of the functions of your camera into the app. And the main reason that you want to do that is twofold. One is it provides an additional level of portability, and the other is that it also allows some more advanced features that your camera may not support natively without additional devices. So the MIOPS trigger is a smart Bluetooth trigger. As you can see, it's quite small. This is my 72mm camera cap. So again, it's quite small, fits into a camera bag very nicely. And it connects to your camera using a supplied camera cable. You basically tell MIOPS which camera you have, and they'll give you the right cable and let you know if your camera is compatible. So how this works is on the side there's a charging port and the camera shutter trigger port. So you plug that in, either slide it onto your hot shoe, or there is a thread at the bottom that you can use for a tripod or gorilla pod or something like that. And you then plug that into your digital camera's shutter release port. So that's now effectively connected to the camera. You'll see the light at the back flashes red, basically to say that it's waiting to be paired. And when you go into the app, you're presented with a MIOPS remote or dongle selection. So the app is MIOPS Mobile. You want to go into remote, and it will then ask for the device to connect to. So in this case, there's only one, which is MIOPS Mobile, and it goes into the application itself. So the app has a whole range of features, from basic cable release, where you just press here to take a photo. I have turned my camera off, so I'll turn that on. So you just press here to take a photo and it triggers the camera. Press and hold is a similar mode, except you press to hold and then, so you press it and hold it. Depending on your camera, if you're in bulb mode, it will shoot for a certain exposure length, and this is designed for bulb mode. Or if you've got it on continuous fire, it will just keep taking lots of photos. So what I'll do is, I'm in manual mode at the moment, so I'll adjust my shutter speed so that I'm in bulb mode, and you'll get a better idea of how this works. So press and hold is a really good function for long exposure and when you're trying to work out what's the right exposure length. So you press and hold, it opens the shutter and it starts a timer over here, and then you release and it closes the shutter. So there are a heap of other modes as well, and I'll go into this in a bit more depth later on. But a lot of these modes require your smart device. So things like sound, vibration, motion, all of those need your device for this to work. So if you're looking for a device that allows you to set it up and then leave, this is probably not the right camera trigger for you. MIOPS do have, and there are other manufacturers, they do have more full function camera triggers, but that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is probably more of an entry level application or an entry level trigger to get started into the market, where you're happy to offload a lot of functions to your camera, your mobile phone or your tablet. And those, as I said, were things like sound, vibration, motion, and those sorts of things. There are other features like basic long exposure and bulb ramp and time lapses, which can be set up and then left. For example, in long exposure time lapse, you set the interval, you set the exposure length, and how many frames you want to capture. So that's good for nighttime photos, those sorts of things where the exposure is consistent. Bulb ramping is similar to long exposure, but it adds an initial and final exposure. And what it does is it changes the exposure to meet the final exposure. So if you're shooting from night to day, your final exposure will be short, your initial exposure will be long, or vice versa. Important to note though that these don't have feedback in them. None of these triggers do because it just uses the shutter port. So it will just do what you tell it. It doesn't know that it's under or overexposed, so it is going to take a little bit of trial and error. Does that mean you shouldn't use the device? No, it just means that, if you're going to do this, practice, get used to it, and understand how the light works and how that will affect your photo. So would I use this device? Yeah, I would. I had a few technical issues at the start that I had to speak to MIOPS about. Once they were solved, it worked perfectly. It does a whole range of things that I think are fairly useful, and that my camera doesn't have functionality to do by itself. So that gives me additional scope to actually expand my photographic abilities. I have a smart trigger similar to this, which is why I haven't used this specific device before. But that said, I do still think it's a very useful device. The things that I have spoken to MIOPS about and I would love to see changed are when you go into the app, you're presented with this each time. So, it is a little bit annoying to have to, do those few extra presses. Is it, a showstopper? Probably not. The other things are neutral density calculator. When you're setting your neutral density calculator, chances are you're going to want to use this value down the bottom in your trigger. So it would be nice to be able to take that value automatically into press and lock or timed release or one of those functions so that you can actually use that automatically. So, you just tap it and it starts or however it does it. So they're my only gripes with the device. As I said, I think it's quite helpful for those that are looking at getting into this area and want to start off with an entry-level device. MIOPS do have a second device, which is called MIOPS Smart, which is their more full-function standalone device, which does motion, sound, all of those things inbuilt to the device. So this is kind of like the little brother or little sister to that device. But as I said, the purpose of the device is a lot different. This is an entry-level device, and it's priced more affordably than the MIOPS Smart. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Like this video if you can. Subscribe to my channel and I'll do more videos on the MIOPS trigger and some of the smart modes within it. Thank you.